Hello, welcome to our Monday night get togethers. Hopefully, a few of you will get connected and logged in to watch. Or if you're watching on the replay, totally fine. If you missed tonight's sculpt class, Monday nights, sculpt at 30, if you missed it, this might be one that you want to contact me and ask for. I had a great time. I thought it was just the right blend of a challenge and I felt it, but yet I felt really great afterwards. So remember all summer, because I know everybody's schedules are hectic, that it's okay if you can't make the live class. For your $5 class fee, you also get 3-day access to the raw recording. So I already sent it out to those who signed up in advance and to those who were in class, but I can happily pass it along to you as well. And this is maybe a great opportunity if you have been curious about a class, maybe curious about Yoga Sculpt and wanted to try it. You get to try it kind of safely at home. Nobody's watching, right? All of those things. So this was a great one. I really liked it. So let me know if you want to snag it still. I'm happy to get it sent out and extend you a 3-day access. But tonight, I wanted to really talk about the idea of building habits because I think sometimes in the summer we feel like we kind of lose all routine and everything's just completely different and maybe weird and it's hard. And some of those habits that maybe we were really focused on in the winter have kind of gone to the wayside. Or maybe we have new habits we're trying to build in the summer when the weather is nice, that type of thing. So, wherever you find yourself, I think it's always useful and beneficial to talk habits and have a little reminder and motivator to um, keep working on those habits, right? To not give up on them. So I have a few tips for you, things to think about as you are working on habits or trying to build something new. The first tip is to be realistic. So maybe that habit that you were working on and that you were gaining traction on in the winter, things are different now. It's a different season. It's definitely a lot different right now with COVID-19 going on. And so be realistic with yourself and say, okay, I still care about that goal or that habit I'm trying to make, but what is realistic for me right now in this time, in this season? And, if it's starting a yoga practice, say, like, I have more time. I know Teresa's offering them via Zoom, so I can do them from home. And so I'm gonna do this. Sometimes when we start a brand new habit, if it's something new we're wanting to do, we go all in and we set unrealistic expectations for ourselves, right? That I'm going to go on a diet and I'm going to eat, you know, nothing of this and it'd be perfect eating every day from now on. I'm going to go to yoga 4 times a week. I'm going to run 7 miles a day. Like we kind of get over, uh, we get too gangbusters sometimes. So start realistically too. So if you're starting, start realistically. I usually tell people with yoga, pick a class a week that you like and say, okay, I first am going to carve out and prioritize this time in my schedule. I'm going to set an alarm. I'm going to tell my family. I'm going to coordinate work, whatever you have to get done to make that class a priority. One a week. I think it's great. It's way better than zero a week, right? And a lot of times that's what happens. If we go out too strong, we did 4, then the next week we didn't make it to 1, we're like, it's over, right? Habit broken. So maybe it's something you're wanting to do now that it's summer. I want to walk more, I want to jog outside. Maybe it's twice a week. Maybe, set something that is still a habit and is maybe eventually the goal is that you want to do that more often than twice a week, or you want to go to yoga more than once a week. But we're starting that habit. We want to build from success. And so if you can find yourself having success running twice a week or going to that one yoga class on a consistent basis and you're like months down the road, then it's way easier to then maybe add a second, right? Than to go from 0 to 6. And so maybe it's easier for me to run 3 times a week after I've been running 2 times a week. And once you have that success, then you believe in yourself a little bit more too, which is tip number 2. Again, we want to build. And so we can take those realistic small building steps too. That, okay, now I'm going to be 1% better, right? I'm just going to continue to improve, not go from here to there. And as I build that habit, as I see those benefits, then it's easier for me to keep building that habit and reach higher and higher goals with that habit, right? So we want to kind of build that circle and that momentum going one way and not have a one great week and then just fall off, right? From then on. And number 3, I think sometimes, especially with something new, it's easy to let it go, right? Or we maybe haven't made it clear enough that it's a priority for us. And so people are like, nah, let's just skip that class this week. Let's do this, right? Or like, oh, you've only gone to that like once. It's no big deal. And so, or for ourselves, motivating ourselves to do it. Like, oh, I said I was going to run twice a week, but man, that last run was super hard, or that last class, I was really tired. So, what I used to do when I was running, I'm not a runner. I don't like running. I love all of you who do. I have lots of great loved ones out there who love running, and bless you. I'm not one of them, but I used to make myself run, and because it was how to stay in shape. And so I would always, on those days that I'm like, I said I was going to run, it's such and such day, it's my goal, it's my habit. I would promise myself a time. Well, I'm just going to go out there for 5 minutes, or I'm going to take this kind of short loop that'll bring me back by the house. If I'm still just really tired, I'm going to listen to my body and I'm going to rest. Because I also knew that usually the hardest part was to start and to get out there. And that once I was out there doing it, I had put the clothes on and I had left the house and I had done the thing. Then once I got going, it was much easier to keep going. So for, a yoga class right now, I said that sculpt class tonight was great. You could say, okay, I'm going to grab that recording. It's $5. That's an investment. I have 3 days and I'm going to start. And if I get 10 minutes in and I'm tired, I can stop and I can take a break. Maybe then I try it again on the second day and I see if I can go a little further. Maybe I surprise myself and I finish the whole thing. But staying motivated, I think sometimes it's just that act of starting. And so make a promise to yourself. I'm going to give myself 5 minutes. I'm going to start that yoga class. And if 10 minutes in, 5 minutes in, I'm still just exhausted, I'm going to listen to myself and I'm going to stop. And then the fourth tip, number 4, is you can always restart. There's a lot of things out there about, oh, it takes 21 days to make a habit, right? Or something like that. But if you really think about habits that you have, it's I think it takes a lot longer than that. And any of you who have children, think how often we still have to remind our kids to brush their teeth. And we've been telling them to brush their teeth morning, night, for how long? Right? And still, at least at our house, we have a 10-year-old and oh my gosh, they're so old. 10 and 7, and we still have to remind them, right? Like, you need to brush your teeth, you got to get You got to go do this, right? So, um, and we've been doing it for years. So clearly, building that habit takes longer than we think and takes longer than we anticipate or that we want. So keep working at something. It's normal to have seasons where we're less great at it than others, but just keep going, right? Keep building that habit because it clearly was important to you. So hopefully those tips really help you out. And I will see you hopefully soon on the mat. Have a great night.